Good afternoon, my friends. Welcome back to the channel. Hitchhiking Yeti here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. Today, my little adventure has brought me to Eden, North Carolina. Really happy to be here. Fun little story that I would not be here today if it wasn't for my cruise I went on back in Christmas. And I actually met a young lady who was from Eden. And she asked me what I did, and I told her about my YouTube channel. And she said, "Oh, you're from North Carolina too." She's from North Carolina. She was from Eden. And she was like, "Oh, you ought to go to Eden. You ought to go check out that town. We actually have a drive-in movie theater. One of the only ones in the state. There's not very many at all that I know of. I know there's one up in the mountains somewhere, but she's got one right here in town. We're going to start our vlog off here today in Eden, drive in, do a little walk around, go uptown, see what we can get into today. Should be fun. It's absolutely beautiful day today with blue skies, a little windy, but you know, all in all, we're making it work. Thank you for hanging out with me. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, this is pretty cool. I'm kind of embarrassed to say this, but I've never been to a drive-in before, and this right here is the entrance to the drive-in where you will walk up and or drive up. Actually, let's not say walk. This is a drive-in, so yeah, right here they got a little air conditioner right here to keep them cool in the summer months. No refund, cash only. There you go. There is the radio dial you have to be tuned into, 88.9 FM. Where you can listen to the movie through your speakers in your vehicle. Here at the Eden Drive-In. Man, that's a big screen. This is so freaking cool. This is awesome. And do they got a second screen over here? This is it. They actually have two screens here. You got this screen. That was, I guess that was the, what was it, 88.9? And then this secondary screen, you can see you just pull right down in here. You can see how the ground is kind of made where your car noses up a little bit, where you can look up at the screen itself. And they actually got it painted down here, 91.3 FM. You can listen to the audio of that movie being played. So you got this smaller screen here, and then you got this ginormous screen over here to do your drive-in movies at. I guess right over here maybe is obviously the projector house. And maybe they got food. Let's walk up here. They got like a little area you can set out here, like a little patio area also, which I think is pretty awesome, man. Golly, you know, it kind of blows me away because I've never been to a drive-in. Never realized how big the screen is. This is fantastic. Okay, right here is the door to the food. Look at their sanitation rating. That's what I'm talking about. They got a 97.0. It's above a 95. Hey, I can totally eat here. Yeah, this is cool. Welcome to the Eden Drive-In. Right here's all their food. They got the single and they got a double cheeseburger. Yes, I love it. Hot dogs with cheese. Not a big fan of the cheese hot dogs, but I will do it. You know, I'm not going to totally turn it down. Got your drinks, bottle drinks, your water, and tummy yummies. Yeah, they got chicken tenders, wings, nachos, French fries. Got some milkshakes over there. You can get 3 scoops of ice cream if you feel like it. Yeah, pretty cool. Let's just take a little walk around here now. Look at this little patio area. Would never thought that a drive-in would have this, but this is great. This, I guess, is more modern, right? If you want to come out here, maybe they got some speakers out here where you can listen to the movie and just sit, but maybe not. But yeah, man, this is cool. The concession stand, Eden Drive-In. Yeah, man, this is epic. I am so excited to see a drive-in. Okay, my lovely wife better get ready this summer. We might have to come to Eden to come check this out. She's not a fan of movies like I am. I've always enjoyed movies. Even though these days and time I don't watch nowhere near as many movies as I used to because, you know, I got a YouTube channel, so my weekends are kind of busy. Always doing a little traveling, showing stuff off for you guys. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate everyone who watches. It means so much to me. Y'all take your precious time to watch my little corny adventures. It's so weird. But looks like we got us a little playground right over here for the kiddos if they're not interested in the movie. Which is a nice little touch too. Because, you know, when it comes to children, you know how it is. Their attention span is not exactly, you know, very long, more than 5 minutes. All right, just as I pull into the town of Eden, check out this old milk carton right here. What's that called? Vernon Family Dairy, locally owned, this big milk carton. But that's not really why I stopped. I found a hot dog stand here that was just calling my name. It's a drive-in. And look at that signage right there. That just called my name. Dick's Drive-In. Some of my friends I grew up with when we was teenagers, we used to answer the phone, "Hello, this is Dick's hot dog stand. If you love hot dogs, you'll love Dick's." So if they see this, they will get a big kick out of it. I'm actually at not Dick's hot dog stand, but it's called Dick's Drive-In here in Eden. And look at this old signage up here of some of the food that they offer here. And of course, I'm about to head inside and get a couple of their famous hot dogs, and we're gonna give it a taste. I'm really looking forward to this also very much. All right, here's our hot dogs. Let's give this a try. I didn't get anything crazy, no French fries or anything like that. I'm not that hungry, but to be honest with you, I wasn't even planning to do a food thing today, you know, but when you find an iconic looking place like this, you got to go with it. You got to try it, right? It's just part of it. So their hot dogs here have kind of a pinkish tint to them. If you can see that, it's kind of what we're dealing with here. Carolina style chili slaw, you know, mustard, onions. It's all in here. So let's try out this hot dog. Very interesting. Let's go for it. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. So something I will say, the chili is a little bit thin, but it still has that meaty flavor to it. It's not overly spicy in any way. The star for this hot dog for me is the dog itself. The toppings, nothing really stands out, but the dog has a really good flavor to it. Even though it's day glow, it's still very good. This is a really good hot dog for $2 and change, man. Like $2.30, I think, for a hot dog in this economy, this day and time. Ain't a bad deal at all. You know what? Should have got me 3 of these. These things are going down real easy. Last bite, my friends. It's all gone. All right, that was good. Let's go see the rest of the town now since we got our bellies full. Oh man, I'm telling you one thing, those hot dogs were delicious. When I first seen them, it wasn't really nothing to write home about. It didn't look like a really pretty made hot dog. The chili looked a little thin, but man, when you got biting into it and you started tasting the flavors, it works. That was really, really good. And it reminded me a lot of a Martinsville dog. You know, I don't know if it was the same time. Martinsville dogs used to be made by Jesse Jones Southern Red Hot Dog Company. That was like the brand or whatever, and they was really bright red, and that was pretty bright red. So kind of reminded me of the old Mart dog, you know, but I've not been to Martinsville Motor Speedway in probably 20 years. Used to go about every year in the springtime. Never did go in the fall race, but me and my friends, we used to head up there in the spring and take in the NASCAR race. It was a lot of fun. All right, here's a cool little restaurant and cafe here. It's called Simply MK Bar, Cafe, and Shop. Right here in this area. I like their little outdoor, smaller outdoor seating area. Perfect for a cafe if you wanted to come out here street side and drink your coffee or eat a sandwich or a bagel or something pretty neat. Right here is the front porch. Ladies apparel, wine, gourmet foods. Man, they're all about their foods down here, ain't they? Got a lot of stuff here in the area. Go over here and check out this old clock, and they got like a mural or something over here with a little information. I'm gonna have to go over there and check out that little garden area. All right, I made my way across the street now. We're actually gonna walk over here and check this out, but I did notice here on the sidewalk how they have this district boundary. And this right here is known as the Leaksville Social District. No alcohol beyond this point. And I did notice over there on the sidewalk, I seen the same thing over there. And then when you come over here and you look at this clock right here, up there at the top, it says Historic Leaksville, established in 1797. So that's just like a district within the confines of Eden, North Carolina. Pretty interesting. And look at this. This is pretty nice right here. They actually got some kind of like plexiglass over it to kind of protect the paint. Eden, North Carolina, our community, our nature. Really nice. I love the murals. It's almost like they took postcards and just, you know, painted them up here on this wall. And right here is a town. It says Central Eden. It's got like different highlights of the town community. Right there you can see Leakesville. That's where we're located right now. Yeah, cool. Historic downtown area where the clock is. That's us. And right up there you got the state bird, which is a cardinal. It's a protected bird here in the state of North Carolina. All right, and this right here is the Eden Historical Museum. Kind of a bummer that that's closed. I bet I could get some information in there that could help me in my little journey today around town. All stuff, but unfortunately they are closed at the moment. When you're the new guy in town, sometimes you feel like there's people that could possibly be just watching you. And that tree is definitely watching. Right out here out front of this outdoor store, we have a Yeti sighting. And he's got a hat just like mine. And right here we have the old Leakesville Gun Shop, LLC, located right here. They're actually only open on Saturdays from 9 to 1. Open Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday from 10 to 5. And they got the Duke in there. Oh man, that was one of my dad's favorite right there. John Wayne, the Duke. That is pretty awesome. I remember my dad used to make me watch John Wayne movies along with him. He didn't have to really make me, but you know, when you're a kid, sometimes you just kind of want to watch cartoons all the time. And he wanted to watch John Wayne. We only had one TV in the house, so every once in a while I had to watch some John Wayne movies. And one of my favorite John Wayne movies, since we're talking about it, North to Alaska. Loved that movie. Still a fan to this very day. I will watch it if I find it on TV and just have some good memories about my mom and my dad, because they was both fans of that movie. Anytime I come to these small towns, I always got to show the local coffee shops. And this one here is called the Roasted Bean. And right here is Black Diamond Embroidery. You got screen printing inside there. One of my old favorite Kiss songs was called Black Diamond. Peter Criss used to sing it. I'm an old Kiss fan, so when I see little things like that, it always just kind of warms my heart a little bit. I've made my way up here to a store that I could probably use. Halo, Salt, and Yoga. Suppose that makes you healthy. And right next door is something that might not be the most healthy thing in the world, but I'm a fan of. This is called the Pork Shop. That Little Pork Shop. You think they got some good pork in there? Some barbecue? Maybe. Very well could. Staff out sick. Closed tonight. Oh, that's so sad. I hope everyone gets better soon at the Pork Shop. I know earlier we seen a Bigfoot. And right here's another one. There are Bigfoots everywhere, or Yetis, whatever you want to call them. I guess technically that's just a Bigfoot. Ain't Yeti supposed to be white? Mine's white. But yeah, and then right up there on the top, how weird is that? It says The Ice Cream Shop. 633 Monroe Street, Eden, North Carolina, which is not here, because that's a pork shop. All right, so that will pretty much do it for our little downtown area. Really nice little area. Loved the hot dog when we first got into town. That was epic. And obviously, the drive-in theater was pretty cool. Since I've never been to one of those before, that was kind of cool. So now we're going to go check out a store just outside of the downtown area. A little place called, I think it's called Blue Octopus Antiques. That is definitely, I think, a when in Rome moment type of thing. When you come to Eden, you're supposed to go there. That's what I was told, and that's what we're going to go do. They said it's pretty epic. So let's go ahead and head on over there and check that out now. All right, it's safe to say that I have landed up here in the old Eden Mall area. And this right here is the Night Owl National Stonework Granite Marble and Quartz Store. And check it out. It's this old plane up here. It says Blue Angels on it. That really caught my eye. You normally don't see a plane just out there unless it's like attached to some kind of putt-putt course. Maybe that you've seen in Myrtle Beach. And they have an owl out here to keep the birds away, but I don't think the birds are too scared of that owl because, yeah, he looks pretty frosty. A lot of defecation going on there. I guess this here is the old Eden Mall, which I used to see on YouTube from time to time. People would come in here when it was at its wits end before they actually closed it. But at least they're using the store, some of the bigger stores, for something. That big old teal color building right there, that's actually where we're headed to. That is called the Blue Octopus. It is an antique store. So that's where we're going. And there's quite the crowd over there, quite the congregation of people in that parking lot. Must be pretty fun inside. I can't wait to see what they have. All right, and here is a little bit of signage they got painted on the side of the building. Blue Octopus Antiques and Artisans. There's our entrance, so let's go on inside. All right, so now we're inside. Check this out, right out of that gate. They got some old toys in here. Look at this right here, Ric Flair. Right here is the Ultimate Warrior. You do not see a lot of Ultimate Warrior stuff anymore. And then right down here at the bottom, we actually have a Jason Voorhees mask. Right here's Michael Myers. Look at that old spooky looking mask. Ooh, I just been in here like 2 seconds. And right there is Gene Simmons from Kiss Doll. So this area right here is called Stonehenge Records. And right here we have another Kiss figure. Right here is Paul Stanley. I wonder, that'd be so cool if they had all 4 of them, but they only got Paul. A lot of cool stuff right there. Some Batman going on. Right there's DeLorean time machine from Back to the Future. Look at this stuff. Right there's the Beverly Hillbillies. Oh my gosh, that's Ellie Mae. That is so rad. All this wild stuff. I love old stuff like this. You know, the older you get, the more you kind of remember the good old days. Bill Elliott, the number 11. It's back in the days where they didn't have restrictor plates on the NASCARs. That's back when he used to run like, I don't know, 210 at Talladega and Daytona. Its track record still holds to this day. Probably would never be broken, I imagine. Look at these old die casts right up here. There's Dale Earnhardt. Possibly, is that Dale Earnhardt Jr. when he was driving for his dad in the number 3 car, the AC Delco. There's Bill Elliott's 94. McDonald's car. Yeah, a lot of good stuff. They got some NASCAR goodness in here also. Right there's an old Ricky Rudd when he was teammates with Dale Jarrett. And right there's Dale Jarrett when he drove. That's when he first come to Robert Yates Racing. He drove the 28 car. I think Ernie Irvin had been injured in a really bad crash, and DJ come in and took his spot for a while. Done, you know, okay, but when he got paired the following year in the 88 Quality Care car with Todd Parrott, it was game on for Dale Jarrett. He was a superstar from that point on. And right down here, we have some more Dale Earnhardt goodness. Look at that stuff. I mean, it's got dust on it. It's been here for a while, ain't it? When I think about my childhood, that Wheaties box right here says it all. Michael Jordan. My goodness, what day, what the NBA back then was just so much fun. It was a different game than what people see today. I can guarantee you that. So this area here is called Cooper's Corner. As you can see, the skeletons up there, and they actually have a sign right there. It says, sorry, skeletons not for sale, thanks. But look at all the goodness they got in here. Oh my gosh. Some really good stuff. We got Captain America, some Batman stuff. Ooh, some old NASCAR stuff. Man, they don't have a lot of NASCAR stuff, I believe. There's the old Jeff Gordon hauler, Dale Earnhardt hauler, right there available. It's really cool stuff you don't see every day. That's wild, man. They got this old Kiss picture back there of Paul, Ace, Gene, Peter. It looks like the reunion tour, which happened in 1996. Really cool. And then I actually remember these old masks right here that you could buy. It was Kiss masks. It looks like maybe they have all of them. Right here is the Alive album from 1976. Pretty epic. There's Gene and his very gargantuan tongue. Yeah, that's cool. They got an Ace Frehley right there. Look at all this Kiss stuff they have. So cool. That's Gene Simmons' solo album right back there, which I think Ace Frehley's solo album was the top selling out of the 4. And I think Ace would still remind people to this very day that that's a fact. Oh, we got a whole nother little hidden room back here. More Kiss stuff. Kiss exposed Paul Stanley, which that was a VHS home movie, Kiss Exposed. I actually have that still. I've never bought the DVD, but I still got the VHS version. And right here is Kiss during their Love Gun era. Kind of hate they got chicken wire on it because it's kind of hard to see. But a lot of good stuff. There's some more NASCAR posters. Right here's a Rusty Wallace. Look at all these pictures in here. Right there's a very young Dale Earnhardt Jr. My goodness. Man, was he young. Look at those frosted hair locks up there. Yeah, that's cool. Looks like we got some Evel Knievel up there. Oh my God. That is a relic in its own right. Look at that right there. The tag team. The Rock and Roll Express. You got Ricky Morton, Robert Gibson. Big fans. And right up here they are again. Can't remember the guy in the middle. And I should know him. Can't remember that. It was back in the old NWA days. But yeah, pretty cool. Right here's Tony Stewart. Mark Martin. I was so shocked when Mark Martin was, driving and that was his sponsor. He left, Valvoline left, and they come in. Viagra. That was so bizarre. And this here is a very popular NASCAR poster that used to be in one of my mom's favorite diners. I used to go in there as a kid, and you'd always see, Darrell Waltrip. And right there's a young Dale Earnhardt. This is all back in the 80s, by the way. Look how young Ricky Rudd was right there. That's crazy. Jeff Bodine. Right there is the man himself, Kel Yarborough. And there's another hometown hero. That's Harry Gant. Bill Elliott. Yeah, a lot of cool stuff in here. There's another good Earnhardt poster up there. Earnhardt and Gordon, Brickyard 400 winners. In my shop when I was growing up, when I used to work on my dirt bikes and stuff, that right there was on the wall. That exact poster. That is the Brickyard finishing order when Dale Earnhardt actually won. That right there. Really cool. I still own that to this very day. Check out this old Mickey Mouse right here. And then right in front of it, I found this. It's old Mickey Mouse Club. You got Britney Spears. There's Justin Timberlake. Right there is Christina Aguilera. Look right next to it, this right here. There is the Superman from the 1950s. That's George Reeves. Really interesting movie called Hollywoodland about his murder or suicide, whichever side you're on. But that's what the whole movie is about. Hollywoodland. Actually stars Ben Affleck. Pretty cool to see it if you were a fan of this old Superman back in the day. So I gotta say, this is pretty awesome right here. Look at these old cameras right here. I actually have family members. I have memories of seeing these cameras back in the day. That little bulb right up here on top, that little cube looking thing. Yeah, I definitely remember that. Check out that old Kyle Petty right there. And right here we have the old Nintendo game, 10-Yard Fight. Man, that was a pain in the butt to play that thing back in the day. And then right over here, check this out. We got some old 8-track cassettes. You do not see that every day. Look at this. What the heck? Look at that. KC and the Sunshine Band, I'm talking. How strange is this to find a Jaden Daniels t-shirt here in this antique mall? I mean, he's not an antique yet. Maybe some fan already gave up on him after 1 year. But check out these cool Ronald McDonald collection series of these glasses. Look at that. This is so cool. Sometimes you forget about stuff like this, even though that there's like the Flintstones, but some more Flintstone stuff. Right down here, we got the Looney Tunes, Daffy Duck. Look at all this cool stuff. Right there's Bugs Bunny. What's the pig's name? Can you remember? I can't remember the pig's name. I know that right there is a Tweety Bird, right? And Sylvester the cat. Right here on this side. Man, I used to watch all that stuff. We got the Road Runner back there in the back. Yeah. Oh, cool, man. Right here's my favorite. There's Wile E. Coyote. and the Roadrunner. Yeah, man, I love that. Right there, Speedy Gonzalez. Man, I used to laugh at him, man. He used to run circles around people. My gosh, I'm telling you, there is so much stuff in here. You could spend hours and hours and hours to go through all of it. Even shoes. They've got shoes back here. They got all kinds of collectible stuff. It's very overwhelming. I mean, you really need to set aside a day or half a day just to go through here and see all the stuff they got. I mean, it goes all the way back. We already walked all the way back through there, and I didn't show even a tenth of what's here, you know? This is crazy how much stuff is in here. This is such an awesome place to come visit and do a little shopping and find some stuff. My gosh, if you're a wrestling fan or a Ninja Turtle fan, you just pick whatever you want. Look at all those Ninja Turtles. Look at He-Man, Skeletor, all these wrestling figures. I mean, it's like a Royal Rumble going on in there. Absolutely crazy. Wow, there is the Mad Hatter. That's Alice in Wonderland. It's actually Johnny Depp. That is a really cool calendar right there. It's a 3D of Jack and Sally, Nightmare Before Christmas. There's old Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan back in the late 80s. Hulk Hogan probably in the early 2000s. A lot of wrestling stuff back here. Here's The Rock, John Cena. A lot of characters. More NWO. Wow, there's a Macho Man right there. The madness. You gotta feel the madness. Ooh, yeah. Right there's a good Hollywood Hogan. The NWO days. God, that was so awesome back then. Ooh, that's some awesomeness right there. It's actually WWF, not WWE magazine. It's actually, you know, framed. Check this old Sports Illustrated out right here. Right there is a very young Mike Tyson. He turned pro at 18. And according to this here was January 6, 1986. So he'd been pro almost a year right here. And he turned pro at 18. So this is a 19-year-old Mike Tyson. Kid Dynamite. Pretty epic. Shortly after this, you had Mike Tyson Punch-Out when he became the world champion on Nintendo. Speaking of old wrestlers, right here is the Rockers. Look at the hair that Shawn Michaels had back in the day. Marty Jannetty, which I heard his health is really, really bad these days. But right there is Shawn back when he had hair. A lot of people probably don't remember Shawn looking like this. All right, my friends, that was pretty darn cool. Definitely highly recommend coming out here and checking that out. The Blue Octopus. That rocked. That was a lot of stuff in there to take in. So if you're ever in the area here in Eden, North Carolina, definitely go check out the Blue Octopus. Really awesome location here. All right, my friends, that will pretty much do it for me today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me once again. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Until next time, friends, I am the Hitchhiking Yeti, and I will see you in my next adventure. Y'all stay safe, and I hope to see you all again very, very soon. So long to Eden. It was awesome. Really, really had a good time today.